Hi everyone. So for number 17, that's where we stopped earlier. So you can use the not before between and that should solve the problem. So now we will move on to using the like operator or the like keyword. So the like is used when we want to find, let's say, an output in a field that is text, and we want it to, let's say, find an output or a description that starts with a D or a description that starts with an A. And so we can use some of those characters such as the question mark or the asterisk as placeholder here for us that can help us search the text fields or numeric fields as well. So I will let you read those here in the description, and now we will go over those queries that are highlighted in blue, and the ones that are in black actually are very similar to the ones that I'm going to cover. So the ones I'm gonna cover, they are more comprehensive, and the ones that are before, you can do them based on your understanding of the highlighted ones. So now list all items for which SQ description has tent in it. So select all items, so all from SQ data, so where SQ description like, so now I will use like because it says tent in it, where SQ description like, then in single quotation I will put an asterisk before and then an asterisk after, and close that quotation and run it. Then you will notice that in the SQ description I have tent here at the end and I have also tent here in the middle. So that's an example. Let's say that I want to retrieve all the fields or all the records in the SQ data where the description starts with a D. So what I will do in that case, I'll say D and then asterisk, starts with a D. So you get the idea, very straightforward. And then we will move on to number 21, show all for catalog 2015 in which catalog page was blank. So this one is very similar to what we have done previously. So equals null, so basically here we will use the null. Let's do this. So select all from catalog, then underscore SQ 2015. So this guy is there, 2015. So where, then catalog page. So actually I'm looking at it based on the table that I have here. This is 2014, 2015 is also in this database. So catalog page, so that's number 17, number 21. So where catalog was not blank. So was not blank means is not null. So let's run this guy. Oops. Catalog, actually I misspelled that, catalog page, so that's why you get an error. So now this is not, so the catalog page was not blank. So in the other question I'm asking you where to retrieve where the catalog was null. So in this case is null. You will notice that they have a record that catalog page is null, meaning doesn't have any value in it. So that's an illustration. So that does actually one of the questions that I asked you, actually the number 22. Now let's move on to aggregate functions, which we will be using sum, count, average, maximum, and minimum. So I will skip 23 and I will answer number 24. What is the total, average, minimum, and maximum extended price? So extended price comes from the order item table. So I will say select, so average, and then extended price, So, and then I will use aliases as well. So let's say average as average, AVG, and then minimum as minimum, and then maximum as max, and then if you want we can do the count or the sum, which is the total, as total. Okay, so now let's do that, and then we specify from which table. From, I believe it was called item. Let's go back and see what it was called, the name, order item. Alright, so now let's run this guy, and you will see minimum, maximum, and total. Alright, perfect. So now we have this aggregate functions. So let's say how many items were ordered overall. So if we want to answer a question like how many items were ordered overall, we can say select count, and then you can put an asterisk here, meaning an asterisk, select count as overall number of orders. So the title, you can name it anything you want, the alias for the field. So I'll just run it. So overall there were 7 items ordered. So if I want to double check, I can just go to the order item and I will see it's correct. I have 7 records there, meaning 7 orders. Now, how many departments do we have? So this is an interesting question. So how many departments we have? So I will say select count department. In some other relational database management systems, you can use count distinct department. That will give you the answer, but Access doesn't do that. So we will do what we call it nested if, or nested statement, select statement. So select count department as count from SQ underscore data. Alright, actually from, so the nested comes here. Select distinct department from. Alright, so now let's run this guy and we'll see how many. So we have 3 distinct. So if you want to double check if that's correct or not, just come here and look at the departments, how many departments we have. So we have camping, climbing, and water sports. So I am right. Alright, so now let's move on to the next one. So the order numbers queue and newly calculated. Actually here, if we want to add a new field that calculates for us. So in this case, so I'll just say select SKU, and then they said new calculated extended price. So to calculate extended price, it's already here for us, but if let's say that we wanted to double check or to verify if extended price is correct or not by multiplying quantity times price from this table. So that's what I will do. So I will say quantity times price. So it's gonna be quantity times price as extended price. So it asks us to order by. I will let you do that. So so where order from order item. So now let's run this guy. Oops. Group by. So if we have aggregate, let's see. So let's see what error it gave us. Select statement includes a reserved word. Oh, actually from, not where. So from. order item. So this is what we have. So we have as if we want to double check if our ESP or extended price is similar to the extended price that we have there, we can just add extended price and see if we have, so our values are accurate, so they are similar. So this is the newly created field and this is the existing field. So this shows you that you can actually create your own field and calculation. And so I will let you sort the output by you should know by now. And now to trim, show the SKU description and buyer name and department name and one cell as sponsor. So let's do this. So we have, so they want us to show SKU and then description, right? So so the order number, let's see, where are we? So SKU description, so let's see how they did the description. SKU description, and buyer name. So this is where it comes. So they want me to say, or they want us to put the buyer name and then the department that they were working in, or the actually with the, so I'll say trim, and what is this table is SKU data, so from SKU data. So let's run it. So what basically they want us to say, to call this field, they want us to call this field sponsor, meaning the buyer and the department. So Pete Hansen in water sports department. So you get the idea how to do that. So we can use the right trim function. And now for each department, now let's do the aggregate, or where we will be using having, group by and having. So for each department and buyer, show the number of items they contain. All right, so I'll say select. So they want me to say for each department, so department, then buyer. So they want me to show the count. So count, you can say as count from SKU data. So basically what I want to tabulate this to show the department in the left and the buyer also in the left side of the columns, and then I want to show the aggregate, which is the count that is equivalent or that is corresponding to each of those departments and buyers. So let's do that. And then from, so then I will say group by. So then since I have two fields here, I need to group by those two fields. If it was only department, I can just group by one department or that department. So now I will run this guy, and then you will notice that I have the department, I have the buyer, and then I have the count for each, items for each, or records for each. So let's say that I wanted to say buyer only, which is basically the question before, or actually department only. So let's run it, and then you will notice that this is how we aggregate data. So now the last question, for each department, show the number of items in which catalog page for 2014 was not blank, and the number of items in department is more than 2. So for this one, it's, let's say we have a department, yes. So for each department, so I will say each department, and then from catalog underscore SKU underscore 2014, number of items in which catalog page for 2 was not blank. Okay, so now I will use where catalog page